welcome back. So we're kind of finishing up a couple more details this time related to sign in before we move on to the main app. And those little details are, so right now, when you sign in, you can sign in as whoever. It knows that you're signed in because it's got the hamburger. But we also want to display over here the name. Also, if somebody is crazy and they choose to go back to the sign in page while being signed in, I would rather there was a sign out button here. And if you go to like the finished product, you'll see that it does these things already, right? So if I sign in as Dave Fisher, it'll say Dave Fisher up there. And if I foolishly, go over to the sign in page, which shouldn't happen, it says signed in as Dave Fisher, sign out. So those are the two little odds and ends that we want to fix up. So let's come back over to our app. And the first thing we want to do is we want to be able to get the display name so that we can show the display name to somebody. I'll tell you what, we'll do it together as a variable, and then on your own, I'm going to have you convert it into a stream. So let's go ahead and do it together as a variable. We'll just call the variable display name, which will just be a string. Your job is going to be to make it an observable, which fires a string. Admittedly here, it's fine as a variable, but I just want you to practice with your stream some more. And really, the display name, we could actually just pull it off like right here. So we just say this dot display name is equal to user dot display name. So we could pull it out right there. And then whenever they're not signed in, you could just kind of like blank it out or whatever you wanted to do there. I hate when it adds extra quotes for me. Not useful. My linter is also going to be mad that I'm using double quotes, but I'll fix it later. So this would get the display name as a variable. And then if you wanted to show it on the app component, so you've got to go to the app's component HTML. Right here, you've got quick chat. So you've got kind of like a button, and then you've got quick chat. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the trick again we have a flex element. And then we're going to have the display name here. And it can literally just be as easy as authservice.display name. Cool. So let's go see if that works. So now it says Dave Fisher right there. So it says signed in, and it says Dave Fisher, which is great. And if I sign out, it goes away and that all works fine. So there's nothing wrong with that solution at all, except for the fact that we want to practice with streams. So go ahead and pause the video, and I'm going to do it here without showing you. Convert this thing to a stream. So go ahead and make that happen. Cool, so hopefully you're able to do that. I did mine just kind of off camera there, so it should work just like it did before. When you sign in, it says your name. The only difference is now it's doing it as a stream, right? So I'm going to check mine in. If your eyes are really good, you'll see my solution in here. In the HTML, I added a display name stream async, and then I have a display name stream in here, which is an observable that fires a stream, and then down here I made my stream. So display the user's name using a stream. Again, if we weren't practicing streams, I would have just used the variable, but we're practicing streams, so we used a stream. Next thing I want to do, it'll be short and quick, so I won't bother spend a lot of time with it, is if somebody manually goes to the sign-in page when they are signed in, I want to completely change this card, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the sign-in components HTML, and I've got this MD card right here, but what I really want to do is I want to show just completely different content if they're not signed in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an ngIf on here, and I'm going to use the ngIf-else snippet. And so my variable that I'm going to pivot off of is the service.is signed in stream pipe to async. So if they are signed in, I guess actually I should say if they're not signed in, that's really what I want. So if they are not signed in, then show what we have been showing, and then otherwise show the, I don't know, we'll call it the signed in template. And so what we're going to do is this whole card is kind of going to get copied in two places. So we're going to have an ng template down here. Can't remember if we've done ng templates before, but I'm going to pretend like we have. And it's going to be called my signed in template. So if it's true, sorry, if it's false, show this stuff. So if they're not signed in, but otherwise, and I'm just going to copy this whole thing and take out the ngif part of it. But if they are signed in, then I want to show something different. And what I'm going to show that's different, we'll have a title, and it's just going to say signed in as, and we'll just grab their display name again. So we'll use the same stream that we used before. So our auth service.display name stream, piped async because it's now a stream. So signed in as that person. And then we're going to have a button, but it's not going to be the Google button. It's just going to be like our own button, and it's just going to call sign out. And so if anybody clicks it, it's going to make them sign out. I suppose I ought to put some text in there as well, since it's not a Google button. We'll just say sign out. Cool. And so now this page will just appear completely different if they're already signed in. So it says sign in right there. I think that might look better as an MD raised button. So put it in as a raised button and see what that looks like. Oh yeah, that looks way better. Signed in as Dave Fisher, and so now you can click sign out. So now it says you must be signed in to use this app. So I sign in as me, and it ships me over to main. But if I very, very, very foolishly go to the sign in page, it'll say that I'm signed in as Dave Fisher. Cool. So little addition there, and so this is change the contents of the sign-in page. I'll make it a little shorter. Change sign-in page when users already signed in. Cool. So that's just kind of a little extra, not a big deal. All right. So come back next time, and what we're going to do is we're going to tackle the actual content of this app as opposed to just the sign-in stuff. We'll see you then. Bye.